All right, today we're going to work on factoring one more step, and it's called double bubble. The first four on this this note guide is, hey, just remember FOIL, because what we're going to do down here with factoring by double bubble is doing the exact opposite of what we're doing here. So remember, first, outside, inside, last. First, outside, inside, last. So x times x was x squared. X times -2 was -2x. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times -2 is -10. Now notice, this is the first, this is the outside, this is the inside, and this is the last. What do you notice about the outside and inside? They combine, right? So those are going to combine to get 3x, 5x minus 2x. Also notice that our signs are different. Notice that when the signs are different, the last term is negative. So I bet the signs are different here too, right? On the last sign. So first, outside, inside, last. We'll look at outside and inside this time. They cancel out, don't they? So it's x squared minus 25. Well, we should recognize that as the difference of squares. Now the x minus 3 quantity squared just means x minus 3 times x minus 3. Now look at those signs. Those are both negative, but notice what the last sign is going to be. First, outside, inside, last. Check it out. The last term, and by the way, these two combine, the last term is 9, positive 9, because negative times negative is positive. So what I'm trying to get you to see here is this last term. What is the sign of it? Well, in this one, first, outside, inside, last. Well, this one's positive as well. And these two combine to be 7. Okay, so here's what the lesson is all about. When we factor, which means we're going to go from here to here, and from here to there, and from there to there, and from there to there. So we're going to work backwards, okay? And the first thing we want to look at is the last sign. If the last sign is negative, notice, the signs are different, plus, minus, plus. It doesn't matter what order either. If the last sign is negative, then that means we're going to have plus and minus, or minus and plus. But if the last sign is positive, we're either going to have negative, negative, or positive, positive. But the middle term is going to be a sum. We're going to add the outers plus inners. See that? We're going to add the outers and inners. Plus 3 plus 4 is 7. Minus 3 is negative 6. But when they're different signs, we end up subtracting the outers and the inners. Now that's the whole key to factoring by what we call double bubble, which is two bubbles, like these bubbles are up here. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. Well, there's only one way to get x squared, and it's always x times x. So now we ask ourselves, we look at the last sign, it's positive, so we know they're the same, right? Same on 3 and 4, because it's plus. So it's either plus plus or minus minus. That tells us it's plus plus. So we ask ourselves, what times what gives us 4, but adds up to 5? 2 times 2 is 4, but that doesn't add up to 5. 1 times 4 adds up to 5. So there's our factors. Okay, let's look at this one, x and x. Well, look at our last sign, it's negative. That means they're different. Different signs. if these are negative, if this last sign's negative, they're different. Okay? So in this case, it's x minus, or x plus, x minus, or we can switch them, it doesn't matter. Now we ask ourselves, what times what gives us 6, but we're going to subtract to get 1. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 minus 2 is 1, but that says negative, so the 3 must be negative. The key here is the larger number always goes with that sign, which is kind of nice. Number 3 is kind of a cheat. We have too many x's. We don't have an x squared, so we got to factor out an x first. Okay, so that kind of stinks. But now we can factor this. We can double bubble what's inside here. Okay, well, we look at the last sign again. The last sign's negative. That tells us plus minus. Then we ask ourselves, what times what gives us 14? And when we subtract, gives us 5, positive 5. 7 times 2, right. 7 minus 2 is 5. 7 times 2 is 14. And plus 7 times negative is negative 14. Good job. Now on 4, we should recognize this right away. Difference of squares. The square root of x is x, or x squared is x. The square root of 36 is 6. So it's plus and minus. We've already done those. And I think we can go to 9 right now and do the same thing, can't we? The square root of 25 is 5, so it's x plus 5, x minus 5. All right, now on 5, we have to find the GCF. And again, it looks like there's a 3 we can take out and an x cubed. That's the only way to get x squared, isn't it? So if we take out 3x cubed, what's left? X squared minus 7x, that's a cube, by the way, plus 10, I believe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this last sign is positive. So that tells us they're the same. So it's either plus plus or minus minus. But the 7 is the key. It says negative 7. So it's negative negative. And the only thing that adds up to 7 is 5 times 2, which is 10, and adds up to 7. So there's our factors. Number 6, we can just go right to the double bubble. Plus sign means they're both the same. That plus says they're both plus. What times what gives us 9 and adds up to 6? Right, 3 times 3. Okay, number 7. Ooh, we got that 4 in front. We never want A to be anything but 1 if we can help it. So let's take out a 4. So that would be all those divided by 4. Don't lose the 4. And now let's double bubble. Well, this sign is negative, so that means opposite. What times what gives you 21? And when you subtract, gives you 4. Whenever this sign is negative, we're going to subtract to get the middle. Right, 7 times 3. And 7 goes with the bigger one, goes with the negative because it's the biggest one, and there you have it. 4 times x plus 3 times x minus 7. Number 8, oh, 2 terms. Oh, I think we can't do that unless we take out a 5. So that's x squared minus 9. And you're right, that's the difference of squares. In all cases, the number in front, what we call ax squared, is 1. So we only do this when a is 1. We double bubble. And in all these cases, we made a to be 1, which allows us to double bubble.